Hey there, so in this screencast I'm going to be showing you how to write a C++ interface, um, our interface to a C++ function using Rcpp. And the motivating example that we've seen in previous screencasts is this nearest neighbors algorithm. And here I've got some C++ source code and a header and a CPP, arcane and a CPP, kn.h files here. I'm going to copy that into my Rcpp package directory under the source subdirectory that we created last time with Rcpp package skeleton. And then after that, we're going to be able to see that in this directory we have these new source files. And the first thing that we can do is we can just check if that would compile. You know, we haven't really used that or created an interface for it, but we can try to compile it. And so the way that I usually streamline the compilation process, you can always just run the R command install from the shell like I did usually, but when I'm using Emacs, I'm usually writing I wrote a blog that summarizes how you can kind of simplify the R package compilation. And where is that? That's Emacs local variables here. So you can either specify compile command as the first on the first line of your C++ code for source code, and then that tells Emacs to run R command install, which will compile the source code in the source directory and then install the package. Or you can, which is kind of better in the recommended way of doing it, I think now, copy this line of code which does the same thing, but it works for all of the files in the source directory simultaneously. So let's do that. Here we're in the source directory. Here, let's go over here. Well, actually, and then Rcpp source, and then you create a file called dir-locals.el. And here, if we put this line of code, this is telling Emacs to set compile command to R command install for all the files that we opened up in this directory. So if we go ahead and open up that kn.cpp file again, and we run compile command, compile, which is this Emacs command, it's going to run R command install on this stuff. So what is it going to do? Well, it's going to try to compile all of the source code in the source directory, and we get some nicely highlighted output with some links to the relevant places in the source code. Here I followed the link to this first error where it says no such file or directory Eigen dense. And so the previous code that we wrote depends on the Eigen template library, and so this error means that it can't find the reference to the header file Eigen dense. And that's normal because when we just do that regular package setup with Rcpp package skeleton, we don't have any links to the Rcpp Eigen package. So if we add that, Rcpp Eigen is a package that provides the Eigen header files. And then we try to recompile it. Let's do, again, go to the kn.cpp source code. I'm compiling that, and you see that there's a few warnings, but now it actually is compiling. So now we have that that source code compiled, and now what remains is to write an interface for that. So I guess I'll leave that for a future screencast. Thanks.